You're listening to another Geek Pride podcast. Sit back, relax, and put it in your ears. Coming to some ears near you. In a world so like this one, you couldn't tell the difference. Geeks and fanatics engage in eternal war for the perfect film pitch. Judged by their peers, and against all odds they cry, pitch, please.
Hello listeners and welcome to Pitch Please. I am the legendary Beard Mike Orvis, and this is a semi-weekly podcast in which two people battle to the death, but with words and not weapons, about the best film pitch for whatever it is. It could be a video game series, it could be a comic book, or it could be on an already existing film franchise, or something completely new. It depends entirely on the week, and you would know because it's in the title. So if you don't know and you can't read, well done for stumbling upon this podcast. Like, I'm genuinely impressed because you've had to navigate through iTunes or like the internet, or you've just found a shiny button. Anyway, with me this week are my regular friends and co-hosts. It is Mr. Ben Fee.
Welcome to the jungle.
We have fun and/or games. And my soon-to-be housemate, when I browbeat him enough, Mr. Callum Tyndall.
I wish I had the money to be browbeaten into things like just moving house.
Look, you're not playing into our wonderful podcasting, YouTuber, millionaire lifestyle that we're trying to portray.
Yeah, but no, but
Callum.
I want them to know. I want them to. I'm gonna be the realness here for our audience. I'm gonna be like, no, I'm poor, guys. I spend all my money on fucking comics. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. I subscribed.
I spent all my dollar on funny books. Help!
DC's Rebirth line, and I'm like, do I want to cancel The Flash because it's not really holding up for me right now? But
Is
I'm
it
like,
not?
It's very mediocre. It's sort of. I'm just looking at going, I like this, but because I ordered so many and they released, DC obviously releases all theirs on the same time. They arrive, all the mainline DC ones arrive on the same day.
Yeah.
I get them from Forbidden Planet, and so I just get this massive fucking stack of comics, and I order them in the way I want to read them, and and so the ones I want to enjoy the most go at the back. So I'm like, I want to finish those off with those, and the Flash always ends up at the front because I'm like, I just kind of want to get through this. It's not bad, but it's a bit like it's doing storylines which I'm just going, like, we just got a 2 or 3 issue run where Flash and Kid Flash got sucked into the Shade's shadows which had gone out of control, and
I noticed that we're not even 3 minutes in and already we're massively off course on this podcast.
Look,
I'm okay with that. It's been a while.
Super
It's been a while.
derailed.
Look, full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since we've the three of us have met up. We were just talking about this before. I've been a mixture of ill, away, and extremely busy with some stuff that people know about and some stuff that people don't know about. Nothing like illegal or anything. I'm talking like creative endeavours. And Ben is busy putting a baby in. Well, anyone really, anyone and everyone that gives him a.
Ladies.
He can report that he is virile. So yeah, and Callum's like doing something, I'm sure, that's not just reading comics. Anywho,
you'd like to think, wouldn't you?
in a couple of months from recording this podcast, Donald Trump will be president, and when he does so, following a couple of months from that inauguration, America and probably the world will become a nuclear wasteland. With that segue put in place so expertly by myself,
We're doing Toy Story.
this week we are talking about Batman, but no, this week we are talking about
The apocalypse that was Batman versus Superman.
shut your fucking whore mouth
Oh, yes.
before I come to wherever the hell you are and slap the white out of you.
I can't.
Anyway.
We're just going to stop at calm.
Before I come. We are doing, if you listen to last week's podcast about Star Wars, we are doing Fallout, the movie. I am hosting and judging. I will have the final say, and Ben and Callum are pitching against each other. Each will have about 20 to 25 minutes to pitch their thing, and then we'll have a bit of a discussion, and I'll overrule it, and then we'll pick whatever next week's film pitch is going to be, with the roll of the magical dice, the 20-sided dice of nerdery that I've got here. Let's have a little intro from the dice. Oh, it's a 17. That means nothing at the moment. It's just quite a high roll.
Mike.
Yeah, it means you
Probably
pass
hit
like
something with that.
Yeah, I mean, I could have, and I've wasted it on a fucking podcast. Anyway, so who wants to go first?
I would love it if Callum went first.
Okay, cool. Callum, you have 20 to 25 minutes starting from now to pitch your movie. Go.
Prepare for some scorched earth, Fee.
Is that the title of the movie?
No, I just want him to know that nothing will grow on the ground I'm about to
Already
lay down.
sounds terrible, this.
Okay, so the two main issues with converting Fallout into a film are, one, that it's open world, and a giant part of it is the exploration, and it's quite hard unless you do a sort of road movie, which I would love to see someone successfully pull off a Fallout road movie, though I don't know how you do it.
They did.
Unless
It's
you
called
do
Mad
that,
Max Fury Road.
very hard to sort of convincingly get that element of seeing the world and exploring the various factions and locations of Fallout without you just sort of having to do, like, okay, Rogue One I loved, but there were about 20 locations in the first 10 minutes. And that's ridiculous. And that's what you'd have to do with Fallout if you did it in a single movie, where you have to go, and here's Rivet City, but we can't stay here for more than 5 minutes because we've still got 10 other historic locations from this franchise to get to. The second problem is it's an RPG, which means that there are way too many choices, and you can't, a big part of the Fallout is you shaping your destiny and go, oh, maybe I follow the Legion and be a super evil and crucify people, or maybe I'm just going to be a nice guy and do all that shit. So, two massive things. So the solution is that you don't do one movie, but also you're not doing a straight linear series. My solution is a series of anthology films called Fallout Chronicles.
Nice.
I would do this as 5 films loosely adapting Fallout New Vegas, so sort of within the world of New Vegas. I'd ignore certain bits, or at least I wouldn't lean on them so heavily. And the idea is that, first of all, each character is introduced in the film before the one they star in. So, for example, the protagonist of film 2 is introduced in film 1. They don't necessarily appear in a big way, but you'll notice them in the previous film, and then, they'll have some moment where you're like, we are definitely, this isn't just a completely background extra, and then obviously when they pop up in film 2, you're like, oh, I know that guy from before. And the idea is that each film will address a different element of that world, so we get the whole open world experience of, you will get to see this because you're going to get to see a Brotherhood of Steel film, you're going to get to see a Vault Dweller film, you get to see a Legion film, you get to see an NCR film. And the series builds across these 5 films to end with the finale, which is the Legion attacking the dam. Characters from across the series sort of show up in a sort of Avengers-y way, where, you've got the NCRs, obviously, if you and the viewer and the listeners, I guess, know New Vegas, the NCR's obviously defending the dam, Legion's attacking the dam. You maybe have members of the Brotherhood of Steel from their films sort of showing up, maybe they've been roped into it a bit. The Vault Dweller probably shows up in some fashion. And the films sort of pass over to each other. So, you have... They're sort of not directly chronological. Well, actually, there is one which is directly chronological. So, but... Okay. Film 1 is called Brotherhood. It's about the Brotherhood of Steel. Film 2 is called Among the Ruins, and it focuses on a Vault Dweller. Film 3 is Upon a Western Cross, and it's a Legion film. 4 is Broken Republic, which is the NCR, and Film 5 is A Crimson Tide, which is the battle for Hoover Dam. Now, this is just... I'm going to focus in on Film 1, but there are just some cool things about this. So, the Legion film directly passes over into the NCR film, because that film will end with a fight just between like squads, a squad of Legion, a squad of NCR, and the Legion film ends with our main Legion guy going up what will turn out to be our main NCR guy, and it's from the Legionnaire's perspective, and then the next film opens from the NCR guy's perspective as he kills the Legionnaire, and then we go into that whole film. The Vault Dweller films, the second one, and it's sort of I want all of them to have slightly different vibes. Like Brotherhood, the Legion and NCR ones are going to be slightly similar in some ways. Crimson Tide is just going to be a big battle film. The NCR one is a war film, but it's from the perspective of a soldier who's sort of stuck in... It's called Broken Republic, and it's all about how the NCR's kind of good, but there's a lot of fucked up bureaucracy in this. All of the films, it's important to show the dualities. You know, the NCR are good guys, but they're ruled by this corrupt and bloated bureaucracy. The Legion are sadistic, but they are incredibly disciplined. They have a very ordered way of doing things, and they get it done. Again, the Brotherhood are ostensibly good, but they're more interested in tech than people. So, I mean, I guess the closest we'll end up with a hero is our Vault Dweller, but and the Vault Dwellers film is going to be a sort of old world blues adaptation, that DLC, where it's about him sort of going out into the world after having been in the vault and having to... It's called Among the Ruins, and it's a bit more less actiony than the others, because that one's going to be about sort of having to come to terms with what the new world is. And each film has an opening crawl voiceovered by the main character of that film that just basically goes, in the year 2077, the bombs fell and the world changed. It is now 2281, and war never changes. Now, to go into the first film is called Brotherhood, and it opens in a vault, and we see, they're just vaulting around, doing their thing. We see what will be our Vault Dweller,
like on giant poles, like vaulting around.
Man. You know how them vault dwellers are into their athletics.
Yeah.
But so they're just in the canteen or whatever. We get a focus shot on our vault dweller. He's maybe chatting to some lady or gentleman. What, I don't know.
This is some solid stuff here. I can tell that you've really worked on you.
And then there's a guy. I
didn't plan out the sexuality of my Vault Dweller. I already made a mistake. But then you suddenly start hearing sort of battle, or at least you hear sort of muffled thuds and booms.
Can we have the Vault Dweller as a female and actually have like a badass female protagonist?
I'm very down. The Vault Dweller is Charlize Theron, and it's actually a secret sidequel to Mad Max.
Sidequel.
Yeah, I haven't... The only character I know for certain is that Carl Urban is playing one of the main paladins in the Brotherhood of Steel.
Okay.
That's the only character I'm like, that happens. Other than that, the characters can sort of be whatever. But anyway, it turns out that the Brotherhood bust into the vault. And it's a fairly small group. It's like 20 paladins maybe, couple of scouts, couple of scribes. They come in... They're fighting security. Vault Dwellers are obviously all in a panic. They're freaking out. These Vault Dwellers have never been... This is one of those vaults that's stayed healthy, and, they're not subject to some awful mutations or experiments, but they've never left the vault. That's been their thing. It's just they've stayed in, haven't traded. They've always been told, what's outside is bad, stay in the vault.
Yeah.
And so to suddenly have these giant hulking dudes in power armor come busting in, and they just, they mow through vault security. These are security guards who've been used to dealing with the odd kid who does graffiti. They're not prepared for Gatling lasers. And it gets to a point where, fairly quickly, the brothers still go, surrender or die. This isn't gonna end well for you. So they surrender, and the Brotherhood kick them all out of the vault.
Why?
And they're just like, so the vault has, and this is going to be a typical sort of Fallout, whatchamacallit, when it's like a gizmo that's the centre of the film for...
A MacGuffin.
A MacGuffin. There you go. Basically,
It's a bobblehead, isn't it?
Typical for it's the bobblehead. It's the first bobblehead.
How fucking cool would that be? It's just like the whole like overarching plot, you know, like the Infinity Stones for the thing. It's just them collecting bobbleheads.
Just the bobbleheads.
Yeah.
Or if you just saw characters picking up bobbleheads at some point, and suddenly like someone picks up the strength bobblehead, and you visibly see them gain just like an extra 10 pounds of muscle. And it's like, sweet.
Sweet Jesus.
So it's your typical Fallout MacGuffin. You know, it's something that was part of the Vault's experiment. It's probably something to do with power
or purification of water,
or purification.
Yeah.
So, and one way or another, the Brotherhood, whether through records or something, found out about this. And in New Vegas, the Brotherhood's fairly small, their presence, but because of the escalating war between the Legion and the NCR, they're having more and more trouble going about their business and trying to just even exist, even as they are. You know, they can't really get any more recruits. They can't scavenge because every time they're going up scavenging, they're ending up locked down in these firefights. And then they find in some old record, I think Power MacGuffin might actually work with there was this record that in this vault whatever, there is a super source of power, and it could provide energy to a lot of machinery that they've gathered but they can't use. You know, it's where they've been collecting all this old world tech, but they can't really do anything with it other than, you know, they make attempts to restore it, but they just don't have the resources to keep it going. And then they find out that this vault has a sort of, you know, superpower source that's lasted all these years. It's endlessly, you know, infinitely repeating and refilling itself, as it were. And so they go in, they clean out the Vault Dwellers. This is obviously how our Vault Dweller in film 2 ends up sort of out there and has to deal with it. But we have a small group of Brotherhood of Steel, and then it's basically a siege film from then on.
Okay.
So we have that whole intro, and then we sort of follow them for a while as they go in, and they're like, alright, we're going to secure the vault, we need to search it, make a record of everything that's here, and we need to start working out how this power source works, because we don't want to just rip it out of the wall and just hope we can plug it into something. We need to send a signal back to base so they can send more men to help us now we've got her, because they're sort of vaguely aware that if they found out about it, it's possible that others do. The vault's not that well hidden, it's just been not worth anyone to sort of break in, because if you don't know about this power gadget, then it's just like there's a massive vault door to get through, it's a narrow canyon, and there's a war going on. So no one's really tried for it, but they sort of go, we need men here because this power source is here, and they don't want to kill the Vault Dwellers because, again, they care more about the tech than the people, but they're not so dickish as to just wipe out all these dudes. But they're aware that these people are now out in the world, and they know the Brotherhood of Steel is here. And that's how, ultimately, you know, word starts getting out that the Brotherhood of Steel have rolled into a vault. And maybe of certain people who already knew what was going on and were waiting for their opportunity, but the Legion and the NCR both find out that the Brotherhood of Steel, and they don't necessarily know what's in there, but they're like, this is very ambitious for the Brotherhood. They're aware that the Brotherhood's been reduced to almost nothing, and they go, okay, if they're in there, there's got to be something valuable in there. They would not make this bold a move otherwise. And it turns into a sort of, you know, in the third Hobbit film, where Thorin and his crew are locked up in the mountain.
The best one, yeah.
And and they're defending their place, and you've got all the various factions sort of vying to get inside. It turns into that, but not quite so painful to watch.
Okay.
Where it's... No, go ahead.
The power source. I'm just like I don't want to cross pitch here, but could this possibly be a power source for like Liberty Prime?
Well, that's what I was thinking when I started thinking power source, because
You're thinking about the battle movie. You know, four movies from then. It'd be quite cool if they kept it really, really, really secret, and then you hear about Liberty Prime, and then you don't hear about the Brotherhood for most of the battle, and then like the Battle of Five Armies, just up rocks the dwarves, but instead it's the fucking Brotherhood of Steel with Liberty fucking Prime.
Yeah. Or we could even come up with our whole new thing, but that level of... So yeah, I think the film ends, and then it's a matter of the NCR show up and they try to negotiate, and they're sort of going, look, we'll help protect this place, but you've got to let us in and tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
And the Brotherhood basically go, no, we don't trust you. We know what you'll do with this. You can't be trusted to protect the tech. You'll just use it for your own ends. The Legion show up, and you start getting these skirmishes between the NCR and the Legion. And I think at a certain point you get a bandit crew show up, like a bunch of freaks, but it's like this massive gathering of various bandit crews, and you get that sort of classic thing in Fallout where a lot of the time you'll get side quests where it's like, kill these 3 bandit leaders, and they've all got weirdly specific things, which is sort of this one hunts with dogs, this one eats the heads of his victims. So you get a few of those where you get a nice sort of scene of like these completely mental Mad Maxy type characters coming together, and you get this massive battle going on. Sort of, well, I don't want it to be massive, because ultimately there's only about 30 Brotherhood members in there total. Yeah. But it's got to be sort of, and eventually it turns into this complete slog inside as people start busting in. The Brotherhood are trying to defend. It's, they're obviously tougher than most of the guys are up against, but they're so small. Carl Urban's gonna die like a complete fucking hero. He'll just take out like 50 dudes. He gets... that's... Do you ever see the Doom film?
No.
Remember that shit fest? It was
I
awful.
refused. Okay.
It's just terrible. However, there is one amazing scene in it where Carl Urban goes in, I don't know, like rage mode or something ridiculous, but it recreates like a POV sequence from Doom where it sort of goes down the barrel of his gun, and it's him like blasting through corridors taking out all these monsters, and it's actually brilliant, and you're like, if only the whole film had been this cool. But he gets that sort of moment where you just see him, taking on the various freak leaders. You see maybe a really exceptional legate, however they pronounce it, one of the Centurions maybe, he takes out a lot of dudes and ultimately goes down. And eventually one of the scribes, it would be cool to do it with, but not a paladin. The paladins all go down fighting, is sent to get the power source out of there. They've managed to work out how to safely remove it, and maybe it's actually it turns out that there's all this machinery around it, but the actual core of what makes it work is quite small. Yeah. And so he gets it out, and the film basically ends with him scurrying out through a secret back passage that, was part of the Vault-Tech's whole design for this place, of them being able to ultimately root this power out without the Vault Dwellers necessarily knowing. Yeah. And you see him getting out as the various forces converge outside, and ultimately that ends with the 5th film. He brings either Liberty Prime or some cool other thing. It's hard to balance because it's got to be big enough that it makes a big impact, but it can't just be, oh, they showed up with this, they've instantly won. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe it's like a badass ship or something.
Oh, what, like the one they have in Fallout 4?
Yeah.
I've forgotten what it's called. The airship.
Yeah, I've completely forgotten.
Thing.
I remember killing all of them on it, but...
Did you?
Well, they were kind of being dicks, and I'd broken off my alliance with them, but the game was getting... I got all my alliance score because the most effective way to get experience in that game is to stay allies with everyone for as long as possible.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And so the game got kind of confused about my alliance scores, I think. And so I was like, it was sort of going, we know the Brotherhood are your enemy now, but at the same time, we don't know that they're enough your enemy to trigger the event where you fight them.
Yeah.
So I was like, fine game, I'll help you out. Went to the ship, killed everyone there, and at the airbase, still did not trigger the event. Ultimately, the event seemed to trigger somewhat randomly, and they came to kill me, at which point I was kind of like, I killed all your men. Where are these dudes coming from?
Yeah.
But I did get Maxon's coat out of it, which is pretty sweet.
Mate, honestly, I've thought about killing Maxon just for that coat. It's a sweet looking coat.
Even before that event, I was considering murdering him just for his coat. I was like, is it worth going to war for this?
Right. Are you wrapped up? Because
Yeah.
You've kind of had your allotted time. Excellent. Okay. Well, Benjamin, do you wish to follow?
It's an Iron Man suit. That's
No,
what the
no.
It's an
is.
Iron
Sorry.
Man suit.
I've just got
They're already running around in power armor. You can't just go Iron Man suit. Yeah, in each one of the films, they every single party uncovers one of the Zords.
an Avengers relic.
One of the Zords, and then at the end, for the battle for Hoover Dam, it's Liberty Prime versus the original Megazord.
I would watch
Voltron
that.
from the Legion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Post-apocalyptic Power Rangers film would be fuck it right. I'm writing that down. That's a fucking cool idea. That's a
been
cool
done.
idea.
Didn't Adi Shankar do it already?
He
Yeah.
did like a kind of
Kinda.
like a PTSD version.
We saw them not. We didn't get to see them in the apocalypse though so much.
No,
Yeah.
we didn't. Okay, anyway. I disagree with everything Callum said, pretty much from content to tone. I thought it was just absolute trash. Okay, cards on the table.
My one weakness.
I did zone out quite early on, so I'm not sure about all of it, but yeah, it sounded a bit bad.
Ouch.
I'm joking. Of course, I'm not joking. So my pitch. I'm a little bit annoyed that you threw away Charlize Theron as the lead because she actually is my lead in my film.
Oh,
So
And now I've
That's-
just made that laughable.
exactly, that's kind of undermining my pitch. So let's just crack on. Anyway, so mine is also going to be a series of films, not the laughably long film sequence that Cam suggested. 3 films I've been looking at, a trilogy, a nice tight trilogy. The problem with Fallout, like Callum suggested, is that there's so much in there. There's been 6 games, about
Something
6
like that.
games, maybe more games. There's been lots and lots of games Fallout, including all the little iOS games and the Brotherhood of Steel, that kind of bullshit. There's been a lot of games, there's a lot of content, there's a lot of places and people and things that you could fit into a film. The problem is trying to make a film that is quintessentially Fallout without just ramming every single thing in it. I mean, no offence to Callum, but I don't want to see a film where the Legion are fighting, the NCR are fighting, the Brotherhood of Steel are fighting an army of irradiated ghouls fighting a Deathclaw.
Oh
I mean-
shit! I didn't even get ghouls in there.
Oh,
Damn it!
you didn't get anyone in. I was going to mention, maybe there's Mirelurks in the basement or something, but no,
No,
nothing.
I mean, I wanted the Vault Dweller to be the one where you see. That's the main C film, where you meet ghoul characters,
Yeah.
have
Not
sex
even
with the
not even
Deathclaw.
a radroach in there, was there? Come on, man.
The Radroach is actually Nick
He's
Fury,
the
Nick
main
Fury at
character.
the end of the 5th film, where we expand into the full universe.
He's not the protagonist for the 6th film, is he? Just him and a bloatfly just travelling around in the road movie at the end.
Oh my god! No, you know the Pixar shorts they do at the beginning?
You're gonna have those.
Radroach and Bloatfly.
I actually really would like mine to be animated. I'm not sure if that would be able to be pulled off, but I reckon animated would be a great way to go. You wouldn't get that kind of edge of realism. You don't want a lot of realism in your Fallout films, but enough that it gets you.
I think you could do animated if you did certain stories. Like,
Well, let me pitch this one.
The sound of an animated movie. It's the first time someone's pitched an animated movie on Pitch Please. That will earn you points. I'm just saying.
Cha-ching, so that's 1 point. I've got to say that. So yeah, my film. It's going to start. It's going to be. It starts with the Fallout logo, just the classic Fallout logo, metal Fallout, black
Metal.
just metal riveted Fallout logo. Then you hear the chocolate tones of Ron Perlman saying, "War never changes." And then we'll hear the history of this world as he goes on about how the war happened, who it was between. We see, like at the beginning of the classic Fallout games, at the beginning you'd see even the more recent game as well, you'll see like a projection slideshow of just frozen moments in time, that the happy houses and cities of America, and then nuclear bomb over the top of it. There's a mushroom cloud there. People are screaming, and it goes on to talk about how the world ended, and then it talks about the vaults and how the vaults were made to house people. And 100 years go by, and someone leaves the vault dweller. So this voice is talking about the vault dweller, and he refers to her as she. Another voice says, "What do you mean she? The vault dweller's a guy." And then we see these people sitting around a campfire. We can't really see their faces or make out much about them. We just know there's these 3 people around a campfire. And Ron Perlman's going to... They're arguing over the details of the vault dweller's story. Ron Perlman's saying it's a girl, the other voice is saying it's a guy. The one who's saying a guy says, "Oh, he did this event, he did this, he defeated the leader of the Khans. He busted up the Khans." No, that was... What are you talking about? That wasn't him. That wasn't her. So they're arguing about who this person is. So there's some uncertainty as to who the vault dweller is. Adds a sort of element of mystery, of anyone can be the vault dweller, is what we're sort of saying here.
Team Vault Dweller.
Team Vault Dweller.
Right, Power Rangers. We're bringing it back.
Tyrannosaurus.
Ron Perlman as a Power Ranger is a wonderful... A Zordon.
He would be a Zord. Just fucking a robotic Ron Perlman.
Not even robotic, just Ron Perlman.
Climbing out of a volcano. Explosions everywhere.
So you've got like the traditional Zords, and sorry for the tangent. They all, you see like the way they all slot in together, and it's like, and you like the blue and the red and the pink one, and they're all like slotting into place. There's a flash of light, and it's just Ron Perlman with a hat.
Ron Perlman's a leg or something, just like Ron, just there as a leg. Robot arms, robot head, and a man, just a naked man as a leg. Gruff Ron Perlman.
Anyway, sorry.
So yeah, so as they're talking about this vault dweller, we see these scenes. We see someone in a vault outfit, but all covered in raider armor and covered and holding huge weapons, fighting against some unseen enemy. As they're talking about the different events that the Vault Dweller has done, all these different adventures the Vault Dweller has had, we see snippets of them, the Vault Dwellers smashing stuff. One of the Vault Dwellers, played by Carl Urban, why not? Smashing stuff up. I did promise that one would be Carl Urban, just to mess with you. And then we see, then one person said, "Would you let me finish?" So, the Vault Dweller. And we see the Vault Dweller. She's completely covered up. We don't see her face. We can just see the hint of the Vault suit underneath her armour. Her face got a visor. She's got a bicycle on. She's carrying a what's it called? Well, a plasma rifle. Just a big, oversized, green light and shit plasma rifle in one arm. She's got a car behind her, the car from Fallout 2 behind her. There's a bunch of guys in the back of the car, we can't really see them properly. And she's walking towards this huge, fortified raider base. A lot of influence from Mad Max here. It's going to be quite obvious. So you're in the desert, there's huge walls surrounding this raider base, built into the side of a mountain. We can't really see the mountain, what's beyond these massive walls, just huge towers of wood and metal and junk, topped with spikes and skulls, and she's walking towards it. And then we jump back. So we've seen her there, we jump back. And one person says, but that's not where it started. And he starts us off. And we see Charlize Theron, and she's in the vault. She is a vault dweller, she's clean, she's lying in a bed, she's got a vault jumpsuit on. And we learn all about her. This is how the film starts. It starts with us learning all about her and her life in the vault. So at this point we know what vaults are, we know what the outside is kind of like, but we're going to sort of see the progression from going from a peaceful existence to the chaos out there. And the arc is going to be that the peaceful existence that she has in the vault is a lie. It's a controlled lie, where she is at the whim of something more powerful than she is. She can live and die by like that, by the whim of some controller, the overseer. She then will move to the wasteland, where she will find chaos and she'll find death, but she will learn that she has control over her life there. So we're going from safe prison to a chaotic freedom, and she'll learn that that is better than being locked up. So in the vault, we're going to establish a few things. We're going to establish the style of the film. There's going to be, on the walls, there's going to be pictures of the Fallout Boy. He's going to be there, front and centre. We'll see him a lot. Every
Fallout Boy.
The old Fallout Boy. The band, Fallout Boy.
Do they play? Are they going to soundtrack the movie?
Oh shit! Fallout Boy are going to cameo as other vault dwellers in the vault.
Are they a band? Can they still be a band?
Hey Chad, I'm not sure what they're called. Hey Chad, how's it going?
Chad!
And they'll start singing the song from Big Hero 6. They say we are what we are. That one there.
I was thinking the song "This Ain't a Scene, It's a Goddamn Arms Race." Surely.
Or just like any of the stuff when they would
slip that in there. Someone go, this ain't a scene, it's a goddamn arms race. Just a complete casual line.
No,
all their dialogue.
Spoken word versions of Fallout Boy.
The entire film will just be lyrics from Fallout Boy songs.
Every line, if there's more than one sentence of dialogue, that person must slip in a Fallout Boy reference.
You know what they say? Ksh, ksh, dance, dance, we're falling apart again.
Amazing. But I'll scoot you off. So in the vault we meet another character, another important character in the film, and it's going to be her husband. Her husband is played by Jeffrey Dean, and he is another vault dweller. They're both part of an engineering team in the vault. They look after the equipment, make sure everything's working okay. The vault is overseen by the overseer, funnily enough, played by Bryan Cranston.
Yes.
He is. When we meet him, he's very nice. He's a very nice, compassionate man. He comes across almost as a spiritual leader. People worship him. He's the overseer. He controls every aspect of life in this vault. In the vault, we'll come across the music as well. Piped through the speakers, you're going to hear the classic Fallout music, like maybe you'll be there for me. That kind of stuff.
Dance.
We could be immortals.
Just a mashup, constantly running at random points.
Anyway,
so we'll hear this. We'll hear the music coming through, and so the plot starts with Charlize Theron. After we've seen her day, we've seen how she lives in this vault. There's a explosion. There's a shaking in the vault which shakes the entire vault. Everyone's scared. Nothing has ever happened like this before. The idyllic distance has been shaken just for a moment. It's been shaken. And as part of the engineering team, Charlize and Jeremy head down to the bottom, and they find that the water purifier has broken. They need a new water chip.
I'm not sure you know how water works.
There is in the vault a water purifier. Water comes into the vault, toxic irradiant water comes into the vault. There is a huge mechanism that purifies the water, and that's controlled by a water chip. They can.
Okay. Is that just a man called Chip?
This is classic lore, my friend.
Called
Walter Chip. Hello.
Walter
You
Chip.
need a new Walter Chip. You should find someone called Walter Chip. So yeah. So
It's going to
this
take
is
a while.
lifting directly
before we
from
find
Fallout
them.
1. This is the classic Fallout. In the Fallout 1 plot,
okay.
the protagonist, your character, was sent out to find a water chip. This is some classic shiz right here.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need a chip to make water good. That's just it makes the purifiers, it controls the purifiers. So anyway, they get a team together of people, including Charlize and Jeremy. But at the last minute, Charlie's dad gets sick. So she said, I can't come with you. I can't go outside. She's scared. She's scared of leaving the vault. She's scared of the wasteland. She prefers to be at home in the vault. This is the rejection of the call to adventure here. This is part of the classic hero's journey. She's rejecting the call. Jeremy goes out with the rest of the guys. She stays there. Months pass. Months and months. The father doesn't get any better, and everyone else starts getting sick as well. Because all this irradiated water is getting everyone sick. So the overseer comes to her again and says, we need to send another team out. We need to go out there. So Charlize gets together a little team and they go out. They all get little pit boys, something that was sadly missing from Callum's pitch. Little pit boys, 2,000 each. And they all head out into the wasteland. The wasteland is unforgiving. And the rest of the team are killed almost instantly in an extremely graphic way.
God. I like how quickly you went there. It's like they head out and everyone dead.
We get
everyone's gone.
We see the wasteland. It's a blinding light for all these people who've been raised underground with little dim electric bulbs. Seeing the sky and sunlight for the first time is blinding for them. They are equipped with little shitty 10mm handguns. They've got very little. They've got about enough rations for maybe a week. They're pretty much sent out there. They have no idea what they're looking for or where they're going to go, and they're woefully underarmed and underprepared. So they're heading out in these blue and yellow jumpsuits with little pit boys on and some shitty little sidearms. They go out. A few of them get attacked by mole rats. Just get completely just bitten up by them. Charlize shows that she is a pretty good shot. We'll see in the vault earlier that she practices shooting radroaches down in the basements. Just a little pastime she has. She's there shooting radroaches away. She's a pretty good shot. She's not entirely unskilled when it comes to combat. Anyway, I'm going to speed through because I realised I spent most of my time talking about the first frigging act. Okay,
you have got 5 minutes left.
The rest of the team are killed. She is caught by bandits, and she's captured as a slave. Now, these bandits have a strange marking on them. They call themselves the followers of the apocalypse. She's captured. She's taken as a slave, and while she's in this slave cage being taken to a new place, there's a little girl in there as well called Tandy. Tandy introduces herself as the daughter of a mayor of a local town called Shady Sands. The main girl, Charlize Theron, asks her, have you seen people like me before? And she goes, yeah, months ago some of them came through our town. But that's all she knows. But maybe if you go to my town, you'll find out more there. She learns that these gangers, these raiders, they used to be a gang, but they were taken over. And now they're they call themselves the followers of the apocalypse, and they're a cult, and they take slaves to work in their mines. They escape. They manage to escape. The caravan carrying the slaves is attacked by rad scorpions. Out of nowhere, rad scorpions appear. It's pure monster horror. There's huge scorpions just tearing apart horses, tearing apart people. The cart they're in gets tipped over, and Tandy and Charlize escape. Tandy takes Charlize back to Shady Sands, where her father, Killian Darkwater, is the mayor. In the game, it's Junktown that Killian Darkwater is the mayor of, but it doesn't really matter. We'll mix some stuff there. It's a bit of a gumbo pot. Anyway, in Shady Sands, you've got Killian Darkwater. There's also a gangster in the town a bit of a fat guy. He owns the casino, the makeshift casino there. He owns the inns, the whorehouses, the bars. His name's Gizmo. His name's...
Ooh.
You lost me?
Hello. No.
Just lawing whorehouses.
No, he's just being a div.
I'd like to add a film to my series. Which
Fallout. Wasteland whorehouses. Anyway, Fallout
4.
Come on. Right?
Oh, come on, Mike.
Anyway. So yeah, Gizmo and Killian, they're at loggerheads. Killian is an upstanding kind of guy. He wants to keep the place upstanding and protected, and everyone's safe. Gizmo wants to let the bandits in so they can get at his whores, give him money for the casinos, and just rinse them, really. So he's trying to undermine Killian. He engineers Tandy to be taken by some raiders, to be kidnapped by some raiders, and brought to an old abandoned supermarket. What's-her-face, Charlize Theron, goes to rescue her. While she's away, Gizmo lets the bandits in, and they start taking over the town. They destroy everything, they kill everyone. When they get back, everything's destroyed. So Charlize, fuck this, I'm going to go to them. So obviously there's filler in the middle here, which will develop Charlize's character. I feel as though running out of time. There's also a nice little bit as well. There's a guy in the town who's got a strange radio. One of those little floating jobbies that you see in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, the little iBots that fly around.
Yeah.
He's got one of those. And he's trying to make contact with somebody on it. I'm sure I can do it. It's like a little nerdy scientist guy. I'm sure I can use this device to make contact. And just as the raiders come rushing into town, he makes contact with someone over the iBot. Someone comes back and says, "What's your position? What's the problem?" Then the raiders come in. By the time Charlize gets back, the town's been destroyed. So she takes the fight to the raiders. So there's she takes Killian's Anakin Skywalker style. They killed them like animals. She gets in the car. It's the car. Wow, where does that come from? Killian's got a car. Bang. Gets in the car, drives down to the raiders' base. Fully. I'm feeling very pressured here. She drives down to the raiders' base. There's a massive battle. We're getting gunfights, we're getting shots. There's pure action from here on out. There's explosions. She just besieges the raiders' raiders' base. She gets inside. She finds that the raiders' base has been built around Vault 15. She goes and she fights her way into Vault 15. She thinks, "This is it, Vault 15. I found Vault 15. This is where the overseer said there'd be another water chip that I can use." She gets inside and she comes face to face with the leader of this raider gang cult, and it's Jeffrey Lee Morgan. It's her husband. Turns out, after he left the vault, he wandered for a long time with his people. Wandered for a long time with his group. Didn't get anywhere. A lot of them started to die of hunger, die of thirst, and then Jeffrey Lee Morgan found somewhere. He found somewhere and he met somebody. It's all mysterious as to who this person is. And then he took over this gang. They were called the Khans, no longer. They're now called the Followers of the Apocalypse. They all wear these purple robes. And he's gone to Vault 15, where there is an atomic bomb down in the bottom. And these people working the mines, the slaves working the mines, they're working to release it. They're working to get it out of the vault and bring it to the surface, which he has now managed to do. And he's going to use it to destroy this entire area. So the bandits, the Shady Sands, even the vaults. Well, not the vaults, because they're impervious to explosions, but all the little settlements around the place, they're all going to get blown up. So they fight. Charlize fights Jeremy. She stops him. She, gets him. He's almost dead, and he tells her that there's more. There's something more out there. Something else is coming. Something bigger. Something super. And then he dies. And that's it. That's pretty much the end of film one. That's where it sort of closes out. You then close it with the framing device of Ron Perlman again, back at the little campsite. and we zoom out and we see that the person Ron Perlman's talking to is a ghoul, and we see that Ron Perlman's character is a super mutant. So this super mutant is telling the story of the Vault Dweller. He knows her personally.
Yeah.
He says something like, she gave me this scar, and the ghoul says, well, you're not as pretty as you used to be, but then again, you're not as pretty as me. And he's there for all his wrinkled skin. And then the other person at the campfire says, thank you for your time, gents, thank you for your stories, gets up and walks away, and we see just the chest there, and it's the vault suit, the vault jumpsuit with a number on it, number 12, the vault where Charlize Theron's character came from. So it was her. She was there all along at the campsite. There are the credits, and then after the credits, we go back to Shady Sands again, and it's all mashed up. But the people are starting to come back again. The business is starting to open up again, and the guy with the radio, is at his desk. He looks up, and there's 2 Brotherhood of Steel paladins. So, you're called. What's the problem? And then that's it. Crash fade out. What? Oh,
I think you missed one bit. When Jeffrey Dean Morgan dies, Charlene leans in very close, tenderly, and just says, "Thanks for the memories." Even though they weren't so great. And Fallout Boy, the Vault Dwellers, show up again for no particular reason, and they're behind.
Oh my
us
god!
harmony.
Fallout Boy play the Tunnel Snakes.
Oh yeah, I've got to have that one.
Yes.
I kind of have to have that in there.
And the film closes out with Rush's Free Will
Jesus.
for no reason.
Close it out with the entirety of 2112.
No, just because free will was what they were talking about. That's kind of the idea of the film.
Do the entirety of 2112. A 20-minute overture.
Just a very quick little overview of that. The person he was talking about was the Master. Are you aware of the Master? He was the Master.
Have we ever actually got to see the Master in the games?
Yeah. He was in the first one. Mine is very much about the first one.
That'd be...
Vault 13, the very first vault. Vault 15, where they go to. The Master is a huge vat of slime who lives below
gross.
An old... I'm not sure if it's a vault or a military base or both. I think it was actually the very first vault. Yeah, it was the very first vault. That's Vault 1. That's where the Master lives. It has a massive big tub of slime. And he creates the FEV virus. The FE virus. That turns super to super mutants. But he's a great character. He's like... very eloquent and convincing.
There's another vat of slime in there's a Fallout. I think it's Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. There's a vat of slime character or a brain in a jar that you can.
Mr.
kill.
House is like a body. His body's just in like a coma sort of jar. Might be the one you think of.
No, I think it's maybe one of the DLCs.
Oh, there are brains in one of the new Vegas DLCs on like the moon. There are just like these floating brain dudes.
Maybe I can't remember. Anyway, sorry.
There's a lot of weird shit.
New Vegas is
weird shit.
And Matthew Perry's horrendous voice acting.
Hey
what? Hey fucking what?
You leave Chandler alive.
Do something.
Was he
the best of them?
Yeah, he was the voice of the main bad guy.
What's his face?
Mr.
Benny.
House.
No, Benny. You know the guy who shoots you in the head.
Yeah,
that's Matthew Perry.
That's Matthew Perry.
My character totally banged him.
Hey?
Yeah.
You banged Matthew Perry.
I always play the girl in these games.
That's actually quite a boast.
I don't know. I always gender bend in this game. I always play a red-headed, just like proper kick-ass girl in all these games. And yeah, I went to the casino where he was. And so you get a choice to like flirt with him and shit. He shot me in the head. I can now shag him. That seems wrong. But then
you went for it.
Of course I went for it. I mean, when in Rome. But the thing is, after you bang him, he's asleep. So you just pop him in the head and kill him. It was really easy. Just killed the guy when he was sleeping in his little post-sex glow.
I wish that had been your plan from the start, and not you went, I'll bang him, and then you discovered, oh, I can kill him easily.
That's a good point.
What a day! Dear diary.
two birds, one stone.
Knocked. then the twist is you're pregnant with his baby.
Jesus.
Damn,
Yeah.
son.
Fallout has some deep hidden mechanics.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So yeah. What? Very quickly, what's the overarching plot of the other two films, Ben?
Oh, right, yeah, okay. So, in the second one, you're going to have her captured by the Brotherhood of Steel. Because of what she knows of vaults and ancient technology, as far as they're concerned, she'll be captured and interrogated. At the first, we'll see the Brotherhood as quite evil, trying to dominate areas and take tech from people who are living on top of it. Like, if you're living on top of an ancient army base, they will pretty much just fucking get rid of you to get the technology beneath you. So we'll see them do that a lot. But then she'll learn that what they're trying to do is really save the wasteland. So she joins up with them. So at the end of number 2, she'll be a fully fledged knight in the Brotherhood of Steel. And the third one is going to be the Brotherhood of Steel, including Charlize, against the Master and his legions of super mutants. Just two sides. Really simple, Callum. Just really simple. Just two sides in the fight. Straightforward. None of this 5 armies.
How's that
bollocks.
work? I don't understand it. Walk me through how you have a fight with just 2 factions.
You mean 2 and then 3 more, yeah?
Yeah, like, if you can't have 3 different twist, surprise, like, show-ups, like, you might think Liberty Prime is the big surprise. There's, like, double Liberty Prime.
Double Liberty Prime.
Like, it turns out everyone has a Liberty Prime.
Liberty Deuce.
No, because what it is really is that it actually is an iron. It's the Hulkbuster suit, but then obviously the Legion reveal that they found Thor's hammer.
I was going to say, is your film just the film of the mod where you can get 1,000 Liberty Primes fighting 1,000 Deathclaws?
Yes, yes.
That's my film.
It's the meta narrative is that someone modded these films.
Oh,
just get Bjork to narrate the film, just watching all these robots killing monsters.
Why never change?
I don't understand.
The wonderful things that are going on in the Fallout world.
This is really uncomfortable. I don't like this.
That's just because I scarily can do a Bjork impression.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Anyway. Now comes the hard part, where I have to hand someone the water chip.
Please, sir, can I have some water? Give me the water.
Did you say Walter Chip?
Water chip, yeah. Radio host and sportsman. I can bat a 300 average. I don't know what any of that means. I don't know sports. Sorry if that doesn't mean anything to anyone. But
Don't apologise.
I was convinced, but that may speak more to my lack of knowledge than...
Let's face it, we're 3 uber nerds pitching a Fallout film. I don't think any of us are going to be like, it's really good this season.
Pitching, sports reference.
I'm very good at those sports references. I think we sportsed pretty hard today. Anyway, I certainly didn't. I did some running to and from the bathroom. Anyway, for sheer depth, like, I love your concept, Callum. I love the idea of anthology films. I think Fallout as like a TV show could work quite well, and like each episode is a different tale, like Tales from the Vault or whatever. But for the twisty turniness and the concept more well explored, in my opinion, I'm gonna have to give it to Ben.
I'll put Fallout Boy in mine as well. If that's what it takes.
I'll have it sold. No,
I will name my films after Fallout Boy tracks.
Fallout 4. Thanks for the memories.
The memories.
The memories. For the memories. Oh, this is getting silly. It's late. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to give it to Ben. I don't know what the current score is. I don't know if we're actually
2-1-1, I believe.
keeping who's like winning or whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Pretty sure it does matter because I'm winning.
It matters quite a lot to my resentment.
Okay, so now we go to the big dice. I say big, it's a normal D20. I will roll.
Well, whatever it is, it's going to be you guys next time, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. Yeah. It's not like winner stays on or anything. It's just a case of who wants to pitch it.
I'd be here all week then if it was. Every time.
Let me roll. I won last time, you dickhead. Right, let me roll. Okay, 5. Give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, no, I am going to be in this one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It was in a hot show.
Turtle Power. Yeah, this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I have to pitch this.
Is this a film, I assume?
As a film, yeah. So
I don't mind on this one, Ben.
Well, I would like to judge on this one.
Okay, cool.
I'm looking for out of the box thinking. I'm looking for something weird. Weird me out with this.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty much the only way I possibly beat Mike when it comes to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, I do have the. It's on the Geek Pride YouTube, so you can all go and watch it. But I have spoken to Kevin Eastman in person and had a 5-minute interview with him, and then got to talk to him after a talk he did the next day.
I was there.
I do specifically know how Kevin Eastman would end the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I think I've got an advantage over Callum.
I'm going to bring in Mona Lisa.
Venus de Milo, you fucking idiot, not Mona Lisa.
I don't care, whichever.
What the fuck is wrong? What is fucking wrong with you? I'm going to fucking destroy you, Callum.
I knew there was a female turtle. I took a shot in the dark.
Mona fucking Lisa. You are the worst. Do you even know who Usagi Yojimbo is?
That's the rabbit, right?
He needs to be in it. And so do some space triceratops.
Oh, mate, trust me. Trust me. Okay, this is going to be an incredible pitch. Right, okay, that was Pitch Please. I've been Mike Orvis, he's been Ben Fee, and he's been Callum Tyndall. I'm not pointing at them, but you can imagine we were. If you haven't realised, we're doing this over Skype. We're not actually even in the same counties. But not for long, because Callum's moving in.
Stop bullying me. I'm going to spend all my money on shit, so I'll be like, look, Mike, I'm in debt, I can't move it.
I just love the fact that even you couldn't summon up the resistance to go. You're just like, stop bullying me.
Just that broken now.
Yeah, well, this is why you've got to move in with me, because you can be the straight man to my wacky hijinks. It would be brilliant. We'll be like Troy and Arbed. It would be incredible. Right, anyway, big love to you all, and we will see you next week for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Heroes in a Half Shell Turtle Power. Bye!
Ice, ice, baby.
Get the fuck out.
And so another episode comes to an end, and the boys are packed away in their boxes ready for next week. Hi, I'm Ben Fee. If you enjoyed today's show, drop us an email at content@geek-pride.co.uk. If you didn't, drop us an email, let us know what we did wrong. Do you have any ideas for a better pitch than we gave today? Make sure to include the words pitch please in your subject title, so we can filter out your emails from the thousands and thousands of emails that Matt Geary sends himself pretending to be adoring fans. Okay, until next week, keep it pitch.